Hey guys, it's me. Welcome back to the Carb Spice Fitness channel. I appreciate you looking on and tuning in and supporting my channel. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much. As usual, I'm playing games with the light, so I'm not going to be very long with this video. I wanted to touch base with you guys and let you know what was going on with me with regards to my my scores and my critique sheet from my competition a couple of weeks ago. As you can see, there's nothing here. I have nothing to share with you because, and I'm highly annoyed. I'm really annoyed. No, this has been on my mind. I told you guys after my competition I was going to reach out to you and let you know what the judges thought, you know, because I'm trying to be transparent on my channel, share with you my numbers, my scores, even though this is the most subjective show on the planet, or sport, if you want to call it that, bodybuilding on the planet. I was, you know, going to be transparent and share my business with you guys. Now, this whole thing started off with a post on Facebook like a week ago. You know, the NFF, the Naturally Fit Federation, posted a status and it said, you know, to all the competitors, your scores will be emailed to you within the week. So I waited and waited. I did not get anything. I reached out to some people who actually competed and I said, hey, did you guys get your scores? They said yes. Everyone I spoke with got their scores. So I reached out to the NFF on Facebook and I said, hey, did all the athletes receive their information? And pretty much yes, except for yours truly. And then a day after, I was encouraged to reach out to one judge in particular, and I did that. And I kept everything just short and kind of professional. I will show you guys clips of the email that I sent. And you know, I got a response after a day, and I was asked whether or not I filled out the critique sheet, and then I said yes, I did. And the final information that I got here is this. Okay. Let me read this to you guys because I don't want to make this too long and have you pause. And you could pause the video and read it if you want. But it says, B. Thomas, you know my name is Minta, Thomas Paul, but they said, B. Thomas, I've looked through the critique sheets more than 3 times and I do not see any critique sheet request with your name on it. Without it, the judges did not have anything to write a critique on you. I've looked through my notes as a head judge or a part of the head judge, whatever, there's a typo there. And below is the following notes or critique I have on you. I had long legs, which needs more leg development. I need to work on my lower body. I need to come in a whole lot leaner. And the positive comment on here was that my suit was a good one, a good choice. And I need to work on my overall symmetry. Alright guys, let me back up a little bit. Last Saturday, and I remember this because my husband and I, we were actually in the mall. I got a message from one of the judges. And it was a follow-up to an initial message that I got and an initial conversation that I had with another judge. I'm not going to get into detail with that, but I can tell you in a nutshell, what was said was that they felt compelled to reach out. You know, every judge had their preference. Every judge had their choice, you know, their first place. There was a little discrepancy with my, in terms of what they felt with regards to my judging. With my scores, they couldn't agree on certain things, and eventually they had to settle for the position that I got, which you guys already know, which was 5th, you know, for my class. And I went, you know, open. If you're new, this is my very first show. I did my open figure. I took a very big step. And they felt compelled to reach out about that, and essentially they felt like my placing was not fair. Now, I don't know why I didn't screenshot that. I basically went on a rampage cleaning my inbox because honestly, after my show, I had so many messages. And when I think I was like archiving certain things were getting deleted. I was so frustrated. I had to reach out to my brother and ask him to help me. Can you help me retrieve certain things? Because he's very savvy. Unfortunately, I didn't get that. But that was the initial conversation that I had over Facebook with not over Facebook, sorry, at the event, and then a follow-up on Facebook. And I essentially had to just let it out. I was very vocal. I was like, I appreciate, you reaching out and whatever. Mind you, this is someone else, but it's also a judge. And I had to give my 2 cents. As you already know from my post-competition video, I went on stage. 2 of the judges did not look at me when I stepped on stage. I mean, imagine stepping on stage and then you see 2 judges literally put their head down and get back on their phone, and they did not look at you. And when I got off stage, I had to ask one of the judges during the break, were the 2 people, I'm not going to mention who, were they part of the judging panel, or were they just adding up the scores or what? Because I noticed that when I stepped on stage, they did not pay attention to me. So if you're not looking at me, how can you judge me? And then he went on to say, well, sometimes it's easy for certain people to tell who they like and who they do not like as soon as you step on stage. And guys, mind you, I'm not new to stage. I've been, before bodybuilding, my stage experience was with dancing, and believe me when I say I'm used to being judged and given a critique and all that, all that stuff that comes with performing, the harsh comments and everything like that. I'm used to that. So this is not what the video is about. I don't want you to think that I cannot take criticism. I've been there and done that with dancing in particular. With regards to bodybuilding, I just feel like if I stepped on stage and the judges did not look at me, they put their head down, got back on their phone. What are you looking at and how are you giving me a score? So that was a whole mess, just judges reaching out and all that stuff. Now back to the message on here. So I reached out to the NFF on Facebook, and then they advised me to reach out to the said person in this email, and I did. And honestly, guys, I don't trust this information, because I feel like, first of all, I know I turned in a critique sheet. I was backstage. I did that. After the pre-judging, I went in the audience. The organizer of the show came by, said, hey, did you turn in a critique sheet and all that stuff? Checked with everyone. I did. Okay? Somehow, after having that conversation, giving my 2 cents, just letting it out, they cannot find my score sheet. So I cannot tell you. I know I said to you I was gonna share with you my scores and my critique and so on. I cannot tell you where my points were allocated, what my weak areas were in terms of the score sheet, like the numbers. I cannot tell you guys that. And I don't even know, this is just one feedback, and there were like 8 judges probably at the show. So I don't like that shadiness. I'm pretty upset about it, because now, the plan was to actually use that information and train for the same competition next year or the year after with the same federation. But if people are being so careless and they're, whatever happened, I don't even know what happened. I don't know if they misplaced it or I don't know what happened. I am not going to be a part of that federation anymore. I'm just pretty upset, and that somewhat derailed me for the entire week. I mean, athletes are sharing their information. They're able to train now with that information. And here I am, the lucky one, without any sort of information, official information to go on. I mean, and I'm calling out the NFF for their carelessness. I'm also calling the NFF for conflict of interest. I do not feel like the organizer, the founder of the NFF should be a part of the judging panel. Why? I've had dealings with that same person before bodybuilding. Believe it or not, that was in a totally different situation I don't want to talk about. I just feel like there are biases with regards to having a founder of a show, of an event, be a part of the judging panel. If you're going to have a judging panel, have people who are not connected with the NFF in any way. or with the federation, whatever the federation is, do not have people there at all. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. You know I turned in the critique sheet. Reading this was very, very disheartening for me. And I'm just going through the emotions right now, and I have to make another video about post-competition feels, because I'm still kind of at a place where it's a struggle to get back in. And then now this distraction, I'm upset. I'm really, really upset. I felt like I paid for the show, and a bodybuilding show is very expensive. The least I could have gotten back was some sort of official information, official scores, and official critique. What would you have done? If you guys were in my situation, what would you have done? And to reiterate, the purpose of the video is just because I said to you I was going to share with you my score sheet. I don't have any. This is just a blank piece of paper, okay? I'm using this for my thumbnail. I was going to share that information with you, print it out and share it with you, and talk to you about my, places that I need to improve, my physique and so on. I can't do that because I don't have that information. Okay, and you can see, from the emails and so on that I'll post, exactly where I stand with that. This is not me not being able to take criticism. When I stepped on stage, I knew I was opening up myself to criticism. This is bodybuilding. That's what comes with it. But my gosh, this is just really careless. I don't know if it's careless or intentional. I don't know what the heck to think. But it's not a good feeling. I just feel like, why me? I don't want this to happen to any athlete, but this is just really weird. It's weird. I don't want to make the video too long, but I gotta go, and it's getting dark in here. I appreciate your time. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry if the video is a little bit scattered. I just came from the gym. I'm upset. I am upset. Yeah, we'll touch base, guys. Bye.